degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
I've learned something about myself this week, and that is when I'm upset about a Jaguars loss, I need the sun to be out, or the depression comes back in just an awful way. And so today I'm right back to, I still can't believe we lost this game, and I'm sad once again. Yesterday I was doing better, and today I'm right back.
That's funny. You know, it's funny. I was at Publix earlier with my wife, and my friend Robert, who works there, he's a big Jag fan. Every time I see him, hey, Robert, hey, Tom, what a game. You know, I'm like, you over it yet? He's like, not just yet. So I'm almost through those people. I think that's what gets you through. Like when you see people that you haven't seen yet, and they want to talk about the game, and you get it all out, and then you feel a little bit better after you get it all out, right?
Yeah, sports grief is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's different, obviously, than real grief, and we're not going to compare the two.
Right.
But sports grief is something. I did the same thing. I was at Publix yesterday, and one of the people were like, how are you? And I was like, I'm all right. Still trying to get over that Jags loss. And she's like, I can't believe we lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know your pain.
Yeah, and then to your point, you come out today and it's like misty, rain, gray, and you're like, great. Buffalo left their weather here. Not as cold, but
Well, look,
we're lucky where we live.
We're getting some closure. They had the press conferences today, and
I think that's part of it. Is it kind of
reopened a little for you? Some of
my wounds. Just watching Liam Coen, he looked really sullen to me. Like, while James Gladstone was addressing reporters and answering things, Liam just kept looking down. And I'm not saying that was because of how he felt. It's just in watching it, that's what I took from it. And I was like, I need Lynn Jones to console him once again.
Look, I mean, as we all know, he's human, right? So if it's a player, like Greg Newsom's got to feel bad for the one play. Why was he out of position? What happened there? Liam's got to be like, man, why didn't I run the ball more? Why didn't I give Tootin the ball more? Why did I maybe go for it or not go for it and kick the three? Yeah. I mean, those are things
Trevor,
you're going to go through.
Why did I throw that ball? Cam Little, why did I not make a 54-yarder?
Correct, but let's keep something in mind, at least with the coach. First year. So he does get a pass as far as how he performed. I mean, you got to critique him because he's got to be better. There's no doubt. But at the same time, I said to him, like, look, okay, so I wouldn't expect that next time. He would learn from these type things, especially in those big games. We get away from it. Is this? Remember, we started the whole year. What was it? Season of first. Yeah. First GM, first coach, Baselli, the coordinators, all first-year guys. Our expectations weren't 13-4. You know what I mean? Of course, it's a bummer. Nobody's more bummed about it than they are. But at the same time, you're going to look back, and it'll happen this week for a lot of people, I think, and just be like, that was a damn good year. And, man, I really hope that this is the building block. Like, it's not just a flash in the pan. It's not just a one-hit wonder. And I don't believe it is. I'm just saying that that's what people will think. Because part of me thinks that, too. I believe in Liam, and I believe in Tony Baselli, and I believe in James and what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. But there is that part of me, like, can they handle what they went through this year, the success, the bullseye on them again. They'll have tape on them for an entire year. Will they be able to rise and overcome all of that and be a dominant team? It doesn't have to be dominant, but at least a very competitive team vying for the AFC South championship again. I do think, Taylor, I don't know how you feel, but with the Texans still playing, it doesn't diminish the league title or the division title because you are division champs. There's no doubt, but it does just kind of put a damper in the whole thing a little bit.
Especially the way the way it happened. With it seemed like they were completely done early in the season, and then every game the Jags won, the Texans won another one, and that's what happened now in the postseason. So that part does suck. Let me ask you, Tommy, how right away in a game like this, a postseason, you're out, how quickly do they go back and watch that film of what just happened?
Sometimes you wouldn't even watch it. Yeah. You might watch it by yourself or with a couple guys, but a lot of times it's over. Yeah. You're not going to, maybe during the off season, you'll you'll think about it. I know I was always, so I had my bags packed. I spent a lot of my off season before I met Christina in South Florida. A buddy of mine lived down there, and he was a big workout guy. So it was actually kind of funny. We would go to breakfast. He's a financial advisor, and he would literally wear the suspenders, tie, jacket, the whole thing. I'd be in like flip flops and a tank top. He'd be reading the Wall Street Journal. I'd be reading the USA Today sports section. We'd get poached eggs and pancakes, all this. So we barely talk. And they'd be like, all right, we'll see you later for the workout. I'd be like, yeah, see you later. I'd hang out at his house. He had a little pool. It was always nice weather. But I was ready to get out of Dodge is what I'm getting at, because, once that season's over, you only get a couple months. So guys will be thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as watching the film, I mean, you're going to relive it. You got to relive it.
Yeah.
You got to relive the bad plays, unfortunately, because those are the plays that cost you the game. Again, commend them for being so close in that game when they really play anywhere near their A game.
Yeah.
They were about a B game.
It was like the Seahawks game, honestly. The Jags left opportunities on the table and left points on the table in that game too, but yet they were still in it. Only down one possession at the end of the game, and so it's similar kind of to that. But it's not at all like the Rams game where you were basically out of it from the time the whistle blew. By the time that first quarter.
Hopefully, it just fuels the fire, and
Yeah.
that's what the coach wants. That's what the owner wants. That's what everybody wants. Fuel that fire. Go make yourself better. Go have some fun. Get away from it for a little bit, and then let's get back to work. And look, it's a 10-month out of the year job. I know when you get here, you don't have to be in great shape when they start the off-season program, but I would think your fire's lit and you'll want to come in somewhat good a shape so you can hit the ground running, because the off-season is going to be fun to watch and talk about, but B, it's another year under the system.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully they don't lose Campanile or anybody else, but if they do, they'll have to figure that out. But just being in Liam's system, being in the defensive system, hopefully that doesn't change again. But they'll be way further ahead than they were a year ago. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun to watch. Who are they going to let go? Who are they going to keep? Who are they going to re-sign? There's a lot of things to be done in this offseason, and it's exciting things. Travis Hunter, we heard from James. We're playing him both ways. That's an interesting thing as well.
Yeah.
So,
but I think he'll primarily be a corner based off of what the roster looks like as of now, at least, right?
as of now, but who
Greg
knows what
Newsome
happens.
potentially not coming back, Buster Brown potentially not coming back. They have more guys signed to long-term deals in the receiver room for sure. But I do think when it comes to James Gladstone, think of how much farther ahead he is with the roster, right? Like these conversations that we're having about what they're going to have to do and decisions they're going to have to make. This time a year ago, he was still with the Rams.
Yeah.
He wasn't even thinking about the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of touched on that today in the presser, and that's what I was interested to see fans' reactions with some of the things. So if you obviously go on the Jags YouTube and watched it there, you could see people commenting in, and to how we've kind of been talking about. Most people, the majority in that chat, were like, "This was a great season. I had so much fun. This is the most fun I've had in a while when it comes to watching Jaguars football." And then the people that weren't talking that were talking, "Okay, here's the offseason moves I think we need to make." So I didn't see a lot of just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we blew that game or didn't run or da-da-da." I think it's in this phase of, I'm really happy that we've won. And then there's this group of people are like, how do we get better? How do we fix some of those things that caught up to us in this game or, in certain moments this year? And that is a good thing. And that's where I feel like the coaching staff, you do this presser today to just kind of, wash it away, we move on. It's time to go on to the next season. You have a full off season together now to where you can plan, and there's still things you've got to do. There's still weaknesses on this team. There's still holes in this team. We saw the depth get challenged a lot, and they did well, but there were moments where that definitely surfaced. Eric Armstead getting injured, the interior defensive line struggled a lot. There's a lot of things. Mason Smith doesn't look like he's the player that you wanted him to be. There's decisions that have to be made. The cornerback room, interior offensive line, I still think you're talking about, just because of age and injury that was happening on the interior side. So that's where you're at now, and that's where they are, and they have a full season to start thinking about those things.
You're dead on there. Great points. I think also for me, like, not thinking back to last year, I was so mad at the team last year because I really felt like not enough players really cared. And they didn't, because they kept making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. I don't have an inkling of that in my blood today, or this offseason. They got a bunch of guys that they played their asses off as best they could. They gave it their best. There was no, lack of effort. They were fiery. They were physical. They were really physical against Buffalo on both sides of the ball, but all year long for the most part, the missed assignments. I think that's what really, that just bothers you because it happened in a big game like the wild card game, and it wasn't happening in the defensive backfield. They fixed the whole pre-snap, illegal shift, illegal motion, that seemed to have gone away. But I think what they did is they did what they said they were going to do. James said, we're going to find guys that love the game of football. All those guys, you can tell, loved this game, and they played that way as far as how they came out and approached it. So, and the way they played, I never came away being like, oh man, they didn't show up today, or they didn't try today, or they gave up today, or I didn't have any of that. I felt a lot of that last year. A lot of it.
I was mad at the players, but also at the coaches.
Yeah, both. It's a combination.
Yeah, I felt like they did a really, really bad job. Speaking of coaches, you mentioned Coach Campanile. We found out while the presser was going on that he'll be interviewing for the Dolphins head coaching job. He, of course, spent 4 years there as a linebackers coach. I was looking to see if there was any sort of surprise on the face of either Liam or James when asked about that. It didn't look like it, so my guess is Anthony Campanile had let them know, hey, guys, this is happening. And so while the news broke, during the press conference, I have a feeling that both of them knew that was coming going in today.
Yeah. And for the record, you want him to take the interview. It's good, and he does too. Whether he gets the job or not, it's good for him to go through that process. Look, I would never want to say don't go, but if I was Liam, I'd be like, look, man, if you get the job, you got to take it. But man, I'll bump your pay. I need you back here. We got unfinished business. And I'm sure Anthony feels that way. But look, you can't pass up a head coaching job. You just can't. You're set for life. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. It's everything you've dreamed of. You got to give it a shot. I'm not saying he's getting it. I'm just saying, if he does, or if anybody does. Grant, they're Udinski up in Cleveland. It seems like there's a little connection there. So, good for them if they do. I don't feel like, I don't know. It's a lot. 1 year as a defense coordinator to the head coach. Right. Are you ready for it? And he's got to be asking himself. I'm sure he's excited and it's flattering. Yeah, come on. Look at in the stats show, right? Number one against the run. The takeaways, number 2. The only negative is the giving up leads, but that seemed to stop for a long time. It didn't stop on Sunday, unfortunately. Yeah. But overall, it's a great thing for the organization. But selfishly, I don't want him to go anywhere. I don't want Anthony. Grant, I'm not saying go, but I could live with that because Liam's calling the plays and it's really his offense. And Grant's very important, there's no doubt. But I don't want this defense to have to go through another defensive coordinator, and new terminology, new things.
And Liam's only been a head coach for 1 year with Anthony as the defensive coordinator, and obviously he's much more focused on the offense. All right, we'll keep the Jaguars conversation going. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
4th and goal at the 1. They set up in the eye. When you add up the moments and break down the best,
it's a hostile environment.
You're left with a performance-painting, high-performance play of the game.
Up in the air, it is caught!
On 1010XL.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, by now, my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 1:35 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Who's MIA, who's coming back? Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 1:35 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Finding the right plumber to reline your cast iron pipes doesn't have to be a stressful experience. When you hire Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, you can rest assured you're getting the best in the industry. At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we're so confident in our work that we encourage you to get multiple estimates. Look at each company's reviews and check the scope of their pipelining work to make sure it's what you're expecting. But at the end of the day, make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Playoff football calls for the grill. The January Rancher Box from local Fair Jacks is packed with pasture-raised beef, free-range chicken, and pork. All local, all delivered. Stock up for game day at localfairjacks.com.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
When the lights shine the brightest in the game's final moments, the offense show that their stars shine just as bright. Trevor Lawrence led the Young Guns on a 10-play, 77-yard drive, capped off by an ETN touchdown, giving Jacksonville a 24-20 lead with 4:03 left in regulation. The 4-minute drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Baby, you a song, and you make me want to roll my windows down and cruise.
Maybe don't roll your windows down today as you're driving around, although I believe the precipitation has stopped as it was. Yeah, raining. No, it looks like it's going to just keep raining. My phone says that rain is expected over the next hour. So, yeah, maybe don't roll your windows down today, but some gorgeous weather I'm sure will be coming in the near future.
Actually, supposed to get freezing Friday, like freezing.
Yeah, I saw that. It's going to get cold.
28
yeah, high of
degrees,
55, low of 29 on Friday.
That's a good number.
And then Saturday, high of 68. So that's not so bad.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Just wait 5 minutes and the weather will change, right? That's what they say.
That's right.
Definitely here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. That was the other thing, by the way, about Sunday's game, since we're talking about weather. They had projected it to be, overcast with a little bit of rain. And then the sun came out and it was so beautiful. And I was honestly hoping it was going to get really warm and the Bills players would just start having issues with the heat. That's what I was hoping. Because that Saturday, it was a high of 80 and sunny. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna get them. Not so much, as the Jaguars, of course, lost to the Bills this past Sunday in the wild card weekend. All right, Liam Coen and James Gladstone met with media earlier today. I thought this comment from Liam Coen was interesting when he was asked about establishing the foundation, but also building on it for next season.
That is very fair. That was the message to the team on Monday. Was extremely proud of a lot of the things that we were able to accomplish. Very proud of their response to adversity and to that 1-0 message and that next play mentality. And now the real work is here to where we have to go and reload it. We're not going to just stand here and say, man, we're just going to redo it all with all the same, because I got us 13 wins and knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. So clearly was not good enough for the full end of the season standard. But 31 other teams were having a similar conversation, and they will have a similar conversation. And so that's the beautiful part about this profession and the challenge that it brings is that, every year's a new year, every team's a new team. And that's what this offseason will be able to provide. And so that's what the offseason will be for is getting to know this new team, what it looks like, with the message being, hey, we got to continue to go 1-0 each week and play the next play.
Yeah, I think it was great, too, about, the 13 wins. It's not like years past, like, oh, they showed promise, and let's take that momentum into next year because they finished the last 3 games strong or something like that. It's a totally different mindset. Yeah. Right now, it's like, oh, they've got something established. Like, the foundation is here. You heard Liam. What did he say? He's like, we're not standing still. We ain't going back with the exact same. We're going to make some changes and upgrade where we have to. But that foundation is there. I mean, they don't. Not much trimming of the fat this offseason, LB. Maybe a tiny bit here and there, but nothing compared to last year and how he totally rehauled that. Kept a lot of the main core, right, the main cogs, but all those other guys that he brought in, man, really, really good job on that. So, yeah, look, I think it's what's exciting is this offseason will be totally different than we're used to in a very long time. Like you said, a lot of work to be done, so you can't get your head in the clouds. You got to stay hungry. That's us fans, too. Right? Because a whole new year next year, and you never know what can happen with injuries or anything and how the ball bounces. So, but definitely going to be, look, man, I'm already getting excited just for the mere fact that I feel like this team is being built the right way. It's the foundation is almost all the way there. It's being set for sure. And I like our leadership. Yeah. I'm telling you, Baselli being there, I think he needs more. And I'm not just saying this because he's my teammate and friend. For him to pick Liam and have that gut feeling, the gut, Liam. Remember the gut? Go with the gut sometimes. The gut feeling of like, this is our guy. Like I needed one interview with him. And you know what that can be like. It could be, so you meet a new friend. You're like, oh man, I really like this person. Like right off the bat, they're your kind of person, your kind of people, and they reciprocate it and you feel great right off the bat. So for him to go after a guy that not anybody was really going after, I'm sure they all knew his name, of course, but to be able to go after Liam Coen and have that feeling and then be like, this is our guy, and be right on it.
And and you have to fire your general manager that you just told the world you're probably not going to fire the general manager, but you're going to have to if you want this candidate.
If you want him, you got to get rid of, you got to cut the fat.
And obviously Liam impressed Shad Khan. We talked about it the night that Shad moderated the Florida Forum, and immediately after he was going to interview with Liam. I think it was virtually, but still he was going to interview with him, and that interview must have gone really well in addition to the time that Tony spent with Liam, and then of course the whole general manager thing came into play.
And I think for me one of the biggest differences too is you feel like you have your quarterback now. And in previous years, like going back to 2017, for example, I wasn't in the group that Bortles was the quarterback of the future. And so I feel you can feel different and more confident going into that next season when you feel like the quarterback is your guy, because that takes so much pressure off the plate. Even going back to 2022, it was kind of this weird still, it wasn't good in the beginning of the season, but you figured it out. Then he throws 4 interceptions in the postseason, and you're still trying to figure things out of what level Trevor could be. There were still the accuracy issues, and obviously coming out of last year, the biggest thing was you've got to find out if Trevor Lawrence is the guy. And I do feel like...
But he was already paid.
Yeah, but you already paid him. But there was conversations of, do they try and get out of that? Like that was what we were talking about this offseason. Is there a way that they can get out of this Trevor Lawrence contract? And if they absolutely need to, if you find out it's not right here. And we were like, well, James Gladstone's not afraid to trade people. We saw what the Rams did with Goff and Stafford. Like, who knows what's going to happen? And I think that's shifted a lot. The confidence that Liam Coen, all of the progress you've seen of Trevor Lawrence, and all the little things that we wanted to see change, using the legs and, the accuracy, yes, falling back a little bit in the postseason. But for the most part, we saw all of those things trend up. And that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward, because you see the wide receivers you see the run game and how it is. The offensive line has gotten improved. Trevor's looking the best that we've seen Trevor look. So the offensive side of the ball, you feel like you can breathe a little bit, not saying nothing needs to be done, but that gives you a lot of confidence in building and making it feel sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, look, it feels like it just finally clicked for Trevor, and Liam's the guy that got him to do that. I mean, you think about even like, in the beginning of the year or midway through, you're like, I don't know. Like, he plays great sometimes, and then, man, the mistakes he's making is unbelievable. I think comparing it to 22 is interesting because Trevor and Doug had a really good year. But if you think about it, those were all first read throws. That's why San Diego or Chargers they just sat on those first throws and picked them off, and then they made adjustments. I think what you're seeing earlier in the year was a lot of those first reads. Remember, you had a stat about it, but then it changed because then he was going to the second. He was looking off the safety. He was throwing the ball before they broke. He wasn't waiting till they were open. He was throwing it to a spot, and it just kept getting better and better and better. So you hope that you can take that, take that molded clay, forget all the rest for the first 4 years, take what you got last year and build upon that. And they'll do it because I know Liam will hold his feet to the fire. He's got to. And he did it. And you know what, Trevor, I'm sure he already has, should thank his coach for getting him right. Because I think what Trevor has learned, and a lot of NFL guys do, college is easy when you're the best player out there. You're just the best player, and when your team's better than the competition, they're just open more. The windows are open, and all you got to do is whip the ball. You don't have to read that much. You don't have to know what defense they're in, or the disguising. Where's the blitz come from? Because it's not going to matter because they'll never get to you anyway because you'll be protected and your guy will be open. But he's learned that, it takes a ton of work, a ton of work. And if you don't think so, go try to learn Liam's offense and see how much memorization is involved in learning that offense. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember them asking Baselli if he could repeat one of the play calls, and he was like, absolutely not.
No.
There's no chance that I'd be able to do that. Yeah, even like Trevor's wife, when she posted some pictures to recap the season, she was like, I'm just so proud of you, but also all the work that you put in this season.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that he didn't put work in the other years, but I think there was an extra level that certainly we saw come to life in the second half. He was working hard the whole time. He was working hard in the offseason, working hard in the first half of the season. It just had to click. And I do think the wristband will be there every game next year. I don't think they're going to try and get him away from it. Yeah, because obviously that didn't end up hurting anything.
I think he was always a hard worker, especially in the building.
Yeah.
But I think the extra is what you saw to Trev.
The at-home studying.
Or wherever. I don't know if it was that. I'm sure some of it was, but you could tell because it takes that.
Yeah.
And the coach can't sit with you there, sit next to you all day and all night. You got to do a lot on your own, especially today. But you could tell he put in the work. I mean, you can absolutely see in his play from the footwork to the things that he didn't do that he was doing earlier and last year. I mean, how many, off-balance sidearm throws when's the last time you've seen that? Or throwing off his back foot, with a lazy arm, not stepping into the throw. Or, look, he was off a little bit on Sunday, but prior to that, he wasn't hardly off. Early in the year, you'd be like, why is he sailing it over his head? Why is he whipping it, not to, where it's got to be? But that got a lot better. So I agree with you. That gives you great comfort that you've got a QB. He still has to get better.
Sure.
And he knows it.
Yeah,
they all
talked
know
about
it.
it
And
with
the pros, listen, man, you want to get better.
Yeah.
You want to be the best you can be every single year.
You want to be the best that there is in the NFL.
Never, right.
And Trevor has the talent. I think that's why people were so frustrated is they saw this cat, has the physical talent, but that other part of the game, and he has the toughness too, but that situational awareness had to improve. And I think they were very obvious or honest with him with that, and it was obvious that it had to improve too. And it is crazy to think like just this season he was still doing some of the things that had people scratching their heads prior to that. Look, I think we will spend an entire offseason now talking about the new and improved Trevor Lawrence, right? And how much better he can get. What I want to know is, I wonder if part of the equation is how much faster he can get the ball out. We've seen the best quarterbacks in the league take less than 2.5 seconds to get the ball out. And that basically negates a pass rush because you can't get there that quickly, right? And so that I feel like is maybe one of the things, or I'm putting it onto the table as far as one of the things that can improve, because now that he has the offense totally down, he's mastered, he's got the command of it. How much faster can you get that ball out? And even if it isn't your first read.
Yeah, and not staring the first one down, right? Because he did that a little bit,
especially that very last play of the season.
Yeah. You know, which again, it's easier said than done. I mean, you call the play, you think he's going to be open, he looks open, I'm going to whip it to him, and I believe in my arm and all that kind of stuff.
And he always catches it.
Yeah,
Kobe,
right. Yeah. So, but yeah, he that's a good point. Getting out, I think that'll come from even knowing the offense even further and what you're doing against specific defenses. I'd like to know, and we probably will never know, about the audibles, checking out of how many times out of all the checkdowns all year were they the right checkdowns or were they the wrong checkdowns? Only Liam and them know. I mean, I don't.
They'll have those conversations.
They'll have those conversations. Right.
Liam said a few weeks ago he was so confident in Trevor making the right checks. But what we don't know is in the last loss, the only loss since like November, were those the right checks for sure. But you'd think if they weren't in the first half that they would have addressed those at halftime. All right, more Jaguars conversation to keep coming your way. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care. Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE, Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, we all know Jacksonville is more than just a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of one another. Hey, Tommy Mack here, former Jaguar. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all, baby. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. We are J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Anytime you've got major plumbing problems, and even the minor ones, there's several potential causes, and they usually can't be easily detected. So don't guess at a solution. Hire Roland Reese Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. People ask, are your solutions for thinning hair permanent? Yes, our solutions have permanent natural results and are guaranteed to work. Put our 35 years of experience helping 10,000 plus men and women to work for your thinning hair. Our trademark hair transplant procedures will give you 3 times more hair in one procedure. PRP and laser treatments are fast, easy, and effective, and only take 30 minutes. Most of our staff have experienced hair loss ourselves. Our caring and confidential team can help you look better and feel better about yourself and restoring your hair again.
For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
What Major League Baseball player has the most stolen bases in his career?
Just letting your homeowner's insurance renew each year may cost you money. Shop around and you may find a better plan. Let Southern Oak Insurance give you an option at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Oakland A's outfielder Ricky Henderson stole 1,406 bases during his career, including 130 in 1982.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We'll continue the Jaguars conversation in just a second, but first, Tom McManus is going to talk a little hoops.
Now,
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway today on this still beautiful Wednesday. Great to be alive, no doubt about it. Brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is, it's about high school hoops. Because last night, my wife and I, after we ate dinner, we walked down to Fletcher High School and watched the varsity girls team take on Ed White. There was a little tournament going on, and we got to catch their game. A friend of ours' daughters, a point guard for them or a guard for them.
Nice.
And it was a rough game for them, no doubt about it. Ed White took it to him. But I tell you, it was really nice, man. And I've only done it a couple times. I got to do it more. And that I can walk to is pretty cool. Is just the purity of high school sports. At least last night, it wasn't about anything else other than playing basketball and trying your best and hopefully winning the basketball game. Had nothing to do with anything else. It was kind of cool just to sit there. And it's funny because I'm sitting on the front row and I'm like, pass it, shoot it. They're like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Why are you yelling at me? I'm getting into it. Like, come on, man, shoot again. Hey, don't be afraid to shoot. That kind of stuff. But just the purity of it all and to have it right there in the neighborhood. So my advice to you out there, walk to your local high school and go check out one of their basketball games or wrestling matches or whatever else they have this winter, because it'll do you some good. No question about it. Brought to you by my good friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
It sounds like you also need to go to one of RJ's basketball games.
Yeah, man. I can't play it, but I'll watch it.
You can sit courtside, though, and give him
Just
some
yell at
advice.
RJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot of bounce passing going on. That's a new thing, man. You got to bounce pass through the lane, don't you still, RJ?
Absolutely. Fake a pass, make a pass. That's the adage that I used to be taught. Man, I love the bounce pass, especially when it's like from a long way out.
Absolutely.
Then you can give everybody the goggles and say, listen, man, I got eyes in the back of my head out here. That's what I love.
Yeah, no doubt. But I know it is kind of cool to throw the ball all over the place, too. You see it at the bigger leagues, right? They're throwing over everybody's head, like cross court and over here. But
yeah, if you got the
sometimes
fastball, if you do, but I mean, listen. Being able just to give that nice dump off bounce pass,
no doubt.
Nothing like it to me.
They call it a dish. Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Yeah, you dish it out. Yeah, but it was fun.
I watched a lot of basketball, remember?
That's right.
I had a game last night. Well, I didn't, but my alma mater.
Like, how'd you play?
Yeah, Florida beat Oklahoma easily and continue their dominance in the SEC so far. Well, they lost the first game to Missouri.
Georgia, Tennessee, and now Oklahoma, right?
That is correct, yeah.
I'm keeping one eye open on it.
I could too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think purity of sport is something that we used to have with college football, and certainly that part has gone away. We'll get to a little college football in a little bit with Lawrence Lane. But back to the Jaguars, I want to go through the 2025 free agents that James Gladstone and company signed, and we'll kind of not necessarily give a letter grade, but just whether or not they were a good, smart signing. But sure, give a letter grade.
Why not?
All right, so they signed Patrick McCary, the right guard, to a 3-year deal worth $37.5 million. He obviously played most of the season when he wasn't injured, but yeah, Patrick McCary is right guard, 3-year deal. What do you think?
B minus.
Yeah, I was about to say B minus also.
All right.
Yeah, I think that it's hard to, because you're also looking at the interior in general and how much it improved as a whole. So you want to group that together, but
a lot. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but I do think, I mean, we've seen moments now where Walker Little comes and plays right guard, and it feels like he fits right in, and things didn't fall off. And so to me, that gives a lot of credit to the surroundings of what the whole offensive line was as a whole. And then so there were moments where we were talking about, is he going to even continue to be this if he is healthy? And so to me, for that, I'd probably say C plus, B minus.
Yeah, and for McCary, the back injury, you can't play with a bad back. I mean, you can play with a bad arm. You know what I mean? You can play, not bad, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can play with, like, you got a pinch in the elbow, you put an elbow brace on,
Trayvon and Eric both played with hand injury.
Yeah, hand injury, but the back, you just can't.
Especially as an offensive line.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, but I was expecting more out of him.
Yeah.
Even when he was healthy, but overall, P minus, somewhere around there.
I mean, the offensive line overall, massive improvements. So I'll say a B. De'Ami Brown, I guess we'll have to give like a D or an F too.
Yeah, I'm doing an F.
Yeah.
1 year,
But I didn't like it to begin, so I would, maybe I'll say D, because I wasn't expecting personally much out of him in the first place.
Well, listen, I think, and I know he doesn't get a lot of this, but this is a D on James Gladstone, too, because he's the one that.
Oh, that's absolutely
great.
You know what I mean?
We're grading the GM.
Yeah.
Jimmy G, by the way.
That's why when you're talking about, even like they were talking about the contracts they were given to, not just maybe.
Right.
So when we've talked, going back to McCary for a second, if Walker Little beats him out in camp next year, that contract looks worse at that point, because you paid him 3 years and a decent amount of money, and you're not getting that out of him.
Yeah, and I don't hate the 1 year prove it deals. Like,
No,
once
me
upon a
either.
time, Evan Ingram signed with
He
the
did.
Jags.
That
on a
doesn't
1 year
bother
prove
me.
it deal.
You're right.
But the $10 million for only, really some
Well,
postseason
And I
success.
think they got enamored by what he did in the playoffs last year.
Right.
Part of that, De'Ami, I mean,
But then again, in training camp,
that much
we were
about
wowed by him.
Yeah,
and
we
were
I don't know what
wondering how defenses were going to stop Brian Thomas Jr., the speed of BTJ,
That's
Travis
right.
Hunter, and De'Ami Brown, because all three looked electrifying. I saw De'Ami post on Instagram, like, loved the season. It was a great season. And then 5 out, number 5, of course, is what he was. And so I was like, well, I'm guessing he is looking also for a new place.
go on and take that money and run.
Yeah, the
It's all
contract
good.
is over. Jordan Lewis, 3-year deal. The, of course, nickel corner, $30 million for him. I'm going to give that an A. Yeah.
That was the one that I liked that they did, and that one was one of the best ones that, like, between draft and free agency, what they've been able to do.
It
Because
was a bittersweet one for you because you love Jarian, but also Jordan Lewis brought experience.
But I do think that it was fun too. It gave Jarian that opportunity to play outside at times this year, which he said last year he wanted to play. So in that light, you now know you have a corner that can go inside and outside and do both in the NFL. So we saw Jarian down the stretch step up and be able to play, that role outside and inside when Jordan got hurt. So I do think it sucked because I wanted more Jarian, obviously, but Jordan, when he was on the field, it was different. And I think losing him at the end of the year also affected a lot of things that they were doing defensively too.
I think without Jordan out there Sunday, you saw a difference. I think you'd see a different backfield if he was out there. No, that's a great pick. Great signing. He brought a lot of professionalism right from the get-go. You could tell from practice, the very first time you saw him out there, he was making play after play after play in
You'd
camp.
hear the coaches praising him constantly. J-Lou.
He was great. I mean, think about how many batted balls, picks, whatever he was doing during camp. So that was a great pick.
Robert Hainsey, the center, they signed to a 3-year deal worth $21 million. I think we would all give that an A. Too.
Yeah.
I might even go A+.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a difference. And it's funny because when I first saw him, he's a big guy, but he's just like a barrel-chested, big guy. And I was like, he's not overly big, but he's big enough, obviously. And then the bull rush he was having trouble with early on. Remember, like even Devon, I should say even Devon's a big guy, but the bull rush was giving him trouble. But man, what a year he had. I mean, that guy, the tenacity that he brings to the table, and that's what you want. Any offensive lineman out there, young, go watch Robert Hainsey play the game. Watch the way he finishes. Watch the way, and it was contagious. Ezra always had it in him, but he brought it out even more in Ezra. I think they both brought it out in Walker when he finally moved to guard, and even when he was playing the run, he was pretty good at left tackle. It was always the pass that gave him the issues. But yeah, no, I think that was, and look, James Gladstone said what? He played one game last year. Just go watch that game, and it'll show you why we grabbed him early and why we want him on this team. And then not to mention all the mental aspect of the offense and what to do
Huge
with Liam. Yeah, that was massive. Great pick and a great attitude adjustment at center.
I'm glad he was beat out by Graham Barton in Tampa, like Robert Hainsey, because
sure.
otherwise he would have been with the Bucs this past season.
Yeah, and that's that was probably one of the more shocking ones to me, because people I was talking to, Tampa fans, were like, there was a reason that he didn't win the job, and it was a rookie and all of these things. So I was shocked at how quickly he came in here and picked up. I think there was always that little bit of, he's familiar with Liam Coen, so he does know his offense pretty well in that sense. So if any offensive lineman can pick things up pretty quickly, it's him. But I just didn't think he was going to come in and win and keep and dominate the way that he did throughout the season.
But now that we know
we're wrong or whatever primetime does.
Now that we know Liam Cohen's personality, right, as well as we can through a year or so being on the job, if Liam Coen likes a player, they're going to have nasty to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Now we know that full well. All right, we'll keep the free agent conversation going. You are listening to Helmets and Heels. Don't go anywhere. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He's our big hitter.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus.
He tackles Jags talk from a middle linebacker's point of view. Fridays on 1010XL. Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hey, life can get a little hectic at times, can't it? And no one has time to get hurt, lost wages, injuries that not only hurt, but ones that hinder our success. If you're in this position due to the negligence of another, you deserve to be paid. What's up, Jayville? This is Tom McManus here. Injuries suck, and I know it. If you get injured out there, check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the country. 100 offices, over 1,000 lawyers, and enough firepower to handle any and all personal injury cases that you may be dealing with. They make filing a claim easy and don't get paid unless you do. That's right, Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com or hit Pound Law from your cell. Pound Law, that's all.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Happy New Year from Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It is 2026. Is this what you've been waiting for? Is the time now for you to drop the weight with Awaken 180 Weight Loss? Look, the time was right for me. I had to do something. I remember looking at myself in the mirror, just couldn't believe it, man. I was going down a bad path. Found out about the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss, started talking with a coach, and instantly I knew that is exactly what I needed. Awaken 180 changed my life. I lost over 100 pounds. Guys, take it from somebody that lost triple digits on this program. It worked for me. It will work for you. No shots, no pills. You do it the natural way with the terrific coaching of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Call 844-346-1800 or go to Awaken180weightloss.com and do what I did with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 14, 1951, the NFL held its very first Pro Bowl in the LA Coliseum, where Otto Graham was named the MVP.
Hey, Hickett here. Leave all the 2025 dirt and celebrate the new year with our friends from Zero Res. Carpets, tile, hardwood, LVP, area rugs, upholstery. Basically every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. Time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res, and don't forget about your air ducts. Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google with more than 8,000 reviews. Bring in the new year with 20% off carpet and upholstery cleaning, plus take $100 off your air duct cleaning when you mention 1010XL. 287-5727 or book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, let's keep the free agent conversation going as we rewind. Good luck saying that 5 times fast. We rewind on the 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars 13-4 season. We've been through McCary, Brown, Lewis, Hainsey. Let's now get it to Eric Murray, who signed a 3-year deal worth $19.5 million. The safety, I'll give that a probably a B+. I think Eric Murray was really good this season.
Yeah, and especially for the money, I thought that was good. He's a 12-year vet coming in. I tell you one thing I like about him: he comes up and he don't care if he wrecks his entire body. He's coming up to hit you. He's a very physical player. But yeah, I think B+ is pretty good for him. I mean, look, you'd like a little bit more out of him. Look, they all had a rough day overall. You know,
I think that's the hardest part about doing this now.
No,
If we had done this
about that.
post Titans game before the Bills
Jarian
game,
had a great year, but he had a rough day too.
Yeah.
He just did. Buster had a great year, but Buster had a little rough day too. 80% completion percentage with no pass breakups.
Right, and 12
That's
of 12
insane.
targeting Khalil Shakir. Like, that's obviously frustrating. And I think the other thing, too, not to harp on Sunday, but we're going to until we have a new game to talk about, so for months, is it's not like they were playing a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins, right? Like, they weren't playing a Puka Nacua this time, which, oh, by the way, they never even played Puka Nacua because he was injured when the Jags played the Rams in London.
That'd have been 52-7.
I was going to say, yeah. But those are the things, like, you were playing a Bills receiving core that nobody thinks is that great. I know the quarterback's really good. I'm well aware.
No, right.
However, those guys.
One had no ACL at certain points during the game.
Right, Shavers.
Yeah, Shavers.
Well, and the tight ends weren't there. Kincaid had like 2 catches. Knox had 3, I think. I mean, Kincaid had the 1 touchdown. That was a great play call, by the way. That fake screen.
Oh, yeah.
And then they think they're blocking. They just leak out.
Reopening the wound.
Yeah, it was a good play call, man. You gotta give it credit. But whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, they had a tough time. There was only 3 QB hits on Josh Allen too, so it wasn't like they were in his face all day.
Yeah, 3 catches for each of the tight ends.
For each of them, I thought it was somewhere around there. But
yep, and obviously the 1 touchdown to Kincaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, those were tricky.
But back to Eric Murray, I thought he was a good pick, and I'm looking forward to him to staying healthy, and I'm looking forward to Jordan Lewis getting back, and then let's see who they add. I would think you get Travis back. Hopefully he's healthy.
Yeah, Andrew Wingard is I'm guessing. I mean, he could come back, but he is a free agent as of now.
He is.
Yeah. So we'll see what that secondary looks like. Yeah. For you, Taylor?
Yeah, I thought he was fine. Like, I didn't feel like I was watching Eric Murray and there were moments, like flashy moments. There was a couple forced fumbles, I think, throughout the year and moments like that. And I just don't know if I was ever personally watching him thinking he was changing the game at all. But he was fine. I would probably say B-, C+, probably for me.
All right, Chuma Edoga, they signed him to a 2-year, $7 million deal. I'll say a B+ for Chuma Edoga.
I didn't play enough for me. I'd say less. Let's see something.
But when he had to go in and play right tackle, I thought he did a fine job. And he was a lot of times that extra tackle. Extra
I just didn't notice him a ton. I noticed him more earlier in the year, I think. It didn't feel like he was
How much was the contract?
2 years, $7 million.
Yeah, for the money.
That's fine.
It's definitely B+ then. But
I think he was good for the rotation.
Yeah, and I like him. I think he's got the right attitude. I thought, I tell you that. Remember that one play? It was early in the year. All 4 linemen had pancakes, and his was the last one. And I thought he decapitated his guy. Hit him so hard. But he's got the power. We thought he might have broken the starting lineup at some point. So my grade's more that I didn't think we saw him enough to really give him a good grade, but for the money, it was a good pick.
All right, Emmanuel Ogba, edge rusher, 1 year, $3.25 million. I would say since Ogba was inactive towards the end of the season, I mean, that's a very inexpensive deal if you're going to get, obviously, some sacks out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they got enough out of that.
Yeah, I still think for him, you were counting on him being that guy to come in and be that main rotational sack getter, and you didn't see that pretty much at all. So
he had half a sack this season.
Yeah.
He had 5 with Miami last year, come off the bench. We thought at least that.
Yeah.
So he's a D plus maybe. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, I can understand that. C minus, D plus. Johnny Munt signed him to a 2-year, $5.5 million. The tight end. I'll lump these two in together, and then Hunter Long also a 2-year deal worth $5 million. So very similar contracts. I would give them both probably like a C.
Yeah.
There were moments that great blocks or a couple touchdowns, but overall, I thought it was Brenton Strange, and then everybody else.
Then the rest. Yeah, I think the same. It's fine because the contracts weren't bad. It's not like you were giving them a ton of money. You to me personally, you were bringing them in to be blocking tight ends. That's what everybody said coming into. So they added a little bit of the passing game when they needed to. In games when Strange was hurt, you were seeing them. When you go back to the Chargers game, that was one of the games where Munt, for example, was a playmaker in that game. So when you absolutely needed them, they caught some passes. They had an early touchdown. They won you some money early in the season.
He did. Yeah. Anytime. He had 2, and then he dropped the 3rd. Do you remember that? It was like a little toss to him, and I don't know how he dropped it.
And then he didn't really play much
but after that. It was like never, I thought he was going to be more of a red zone threat.
He had 2 touchdowns total this season.
Yeah, but it was early, right? Out of 3 games, maybe 4 games?
1 against the Panthers and 1 against the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, somewhere around there. But I'd say probably C for both of them.
All right, Dennis Gardeck, linebacker, 1 year, $2 million. I'm going to give that an A+.
Yeah, I love Gardeck.
Yeah, he's an animal. Can play Sam. Can run
I'd be
down
surprised
and
if
kick
he's not back. I know he's a free agent, like I said, for a 1-year deal, but I'll be surprised because of the way he plays.
He's the right kind of guy for sure. You want him on your team.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yep.
All right, the backup quarterback, Nick Mullins, of course, got a little more playing time than people were expecting because Trevor
thankfully
Lawrence
for
was
good
healthy.
reasons.
Yes, exactly. Nick Mullins, the quarterback, signed a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million.
He threw a nice touchdown pass in camp because he got a high five from Liam. Remember that?
I do.
I do remember that, actually.
So, I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I feel like I have to NA that because I don't know.
I think the fact that he was the backup to a quarterback that improved all season long. I don't know if Nick Mullins helped in that, but because he's in the room with Trevor, I'm going to say B minus, whatever, because he didn't have any distractions against Trevor, right? Like there weren't any of those types of things of like Nick Mullins needs to be the quarterback. Although I think early in the season there were fans that were screaming for that, but most of them.
Well, and he came from Minnesota with like Grant, I'm sure he played a good part in getting Trevor ready each and every week. So B's cool.
All right, Dwan Smoot, edge rusher, 1 year, $1.5 million. I think we'd all say like B minus, C.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. That's $1 million. You can have it, Smoot.
Exactly. And then Quentin Morris, the tight end, 1 year, $1.15 million. I'll give that a B plus. Special teams, excellent.
He got promised too. I think he could make some plays for you in the passing game.
Yeah.
He got his touchdown.
He got his touchdown against the Titans.
Yeah. Remember the one, the one wheel up the side they just missed. Remember he had him open. They used him then, but he's a good blocker. Remember he had that unbelievable trap block. I forget who he knocked right into oblivion, but that was a great and he does well
against the Colts, if I remember correctly. And then finally Fred Johnson, 1 year, the offensive tackle, 1 year, 1.337. They traded him. Well,
give him a B for the Eagles.
Yeah,
he played a lot for them, didn't he? At the end of the
day, that didn't help us.
No, not at all.
And Tank Bigsby also got some action. I know the Eagles season is over, but Tank Bigsby did get to play against the 49ers. All right, so that'll wrap the free agent class. We want to get to some more NFL on the other side, so keep it right here, locked into 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Non-stop Knowles. Search 1010XL Seminoles on YouTube.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. Comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
What does Johnny O know best? O knows Jacksonville football.
Okay, say, oh my.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
Don't wait for leaks to tell you it's time. Start the new year with a roof built to last from Romano Brothers Roofing, serving Jacksonville for over 45 years. Their family-owned team handles repairs, full replacements, and residential or commercial installs, including durable metal roofs. They even do remodels and additions. Call 904-246-5649 or visit RomanoBrothersRoofing.com for a free estimate. License number CCC 1328893.
The new year is the perfect time to finally get organized. Hey, Lauren Brooks here, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They created custom storage for us, and they will do the same thing for you. That's right, custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to home offices, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and more. Beautiful, functional storage for any space, lifestyle, and budget. Start the new year strong with 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free in-home consultation today. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com today.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, gang, Prosser here. Jacksonville homes are selling, but it can take months, and it takes a price lower than you want. Well, getting top price means aggressive marketing, and Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive the demand to sell your home. And they have this unbelievable promise and guarantee. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. If you need to sell now, Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. You want max price? Chad and Sandy are going to aggressively market your home, and they're going to get it. Anthony and Mary in Palm Coast said, we wanted to move back home closer to family. Getting max price was more important than a fast sell, but we had only purchased our home last year, so we didn't have much equity. After just 23 days of aggressive marketing with Chad and Sandy, they sold our house at the price we needed to make the move. Call the Jacksonville experts you can trust, and I recommend. Call Chad and Sandy at 904-414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Some big-time news in the golf world as five-time major champion Brooks Koepka has been reinstated to the PGA Tour after spending the last 4 years on the LIV Golf Tour. Koepka will make his first start at the Farmers Insurance Open at the end of the month and is also committed to the Waste Management Phoenix Open in February. It's 59 degrees at 3:03 time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus is here. Taylor Dahl is here. RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We have some AFC Championship and NFC Championship game odds. So we have 8 potential matchups as we have still 8 teams remaining. 4 games this upcoming weekend. Taylor Dahl is like, yeah, I'm well aware of the games this upcoming weekend. But so this is what it would look like as far as now, these predicted odds. If the Texans play in Denver, the Broncos are 1.5-point favorites. Who are y'all taking in that? Texans or Broncos? Broncos, Denver.
Okay, these are all hypothetical things.
Yes, these are, if this happens, then these are the odds.
I feel like that's honestly such an even matchup when it comes to, you talk about their defenses the most and the weaknesses in their offense.
And think about it too. This would have meant that the Texans beat the Patriots on the road.
Yep.
And the Broncos are able to win at home over the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I kind of lean Denver in that, just because I think that Houston's line would get just annihilated by some of the things that Denver defense is going to be able to do. And that's when you see CJ Stroud fumble 5 times and they turn the ball over a ton. And I think that type of thing would catch up against them, against a Denver team.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think if the Texans pull off beating the Pats, I mean, we went to the championship. I shouldn't say this because you feel like they got momentum like crazy. We felt like we did too. But I think you're right. I think the defenses kind of wash each other out. And then the Broncos offense will just be that little bit much better than the Texans.
Which quarterback plays better, I feel like, because both defenses obviously are good. Who has better weapons at this point? I don't know, because so many different Texans receivers have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
But the Broncos
Collins
don't
has
have
a concussion
Nico's
now.
Man, you want him in there if you're the
They
Texans.
still have Christian Kirk, obviously. But
How about Christian Kirk?
I know.
I can't believe it.
He saw
What
what
a good
Parker
weekend for
Washington
him.
was
I know,
doing
he's
and was
like,
like,
okay, hold my beer.
Exactly right. All right, if the Patriots win, the Patriots would play at the Broncos. The Broncos would be a 1-point favorite. I got the Broncos in that.
Yeah.
Again, at home, a young
The
quarterback
Patriots
on
win,
the
they're
road.
at Broncos anyways, and 1-point favorite for the Broncos.
Yeah. I
don't know what I still don't know what New England is my
Right,
problem. And that's what, I mean, maybe this weekend shows you a little more just to see what Drake May does against this top defense. 3 of the Texans' defensive backs are in the top 5 when it comes to lowest passer ratings allowed. They've got 3 defensive backs in the top 5. Like, that's how good they are in the secondary, and they can rush the passer. So if Drake May can do what he's done this season and even in this postseason against this Texans defense, I would go New England.
By the way, run the ball. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, for sure.
For the Broncos, for sure, against the Bills, and then also for the Patriots against the Texans, because that at least helps them not be throwing to those guys.
You gotta see if Bo and company are rusty, with the bye week. Buffalo's coming in, they're banged up, so the Broncos got that going for them. I think if the Bills beat the Broncos, the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I think it's their year. I just think they'll beat whoever, next New England or Houston. But it'd be interesting. I think if the Broncos are rusty, I think the Bills got a great chance to win this game.
If the Bills take on the Texans, it would be Bills at Texans, again, because of the seeding, and that would be a pick'em game. So no line for that one as of now. And then if the Bills travel to New England, it would be Patriots, a 1-point favorite. I don't know in that one because they've played twice already this year and they split.
Yeah.
But you'd have to go with I know it's a road game, but I feel like you'd have to go with Josh Allen as far as being the team that should win that game.
I mean, we saw him put it on his back Sunday.
Yeah.
He sure did.
The Patriots do have a better defense than the Jaguars. I know the Jaguars' run defense was really good.
Right.
But the pass defense, the Patriots are
Yeah,
really
and the
good.
Bills, I mean, the receivers are running out at this point. I'd be a little concerned about that because if you can stop the run and he has, I mean, virtually other than Khalil Shakir, nobody to go, and you have the two tight ends. I do think that it'd be hard, honestly. I think the Bills are getting to the point where they need superhero Josh Allen, and that's great when it happens, but sometimes superhero Josh Allen throws 3 picks, and so that's what you have to kind of worry about.
Yeah, or scored 12 points against the Eagles, right, and missed that 2-point conversion. So, you don't always get superhero Josh
Allen. That guy, Ray Davis, might play a role in the passing game if they're out of weapons. You get those running backs involved, but they're going to be great games. I mean, across the board, they should be really good games.
The championship games, I feel like, always deliver.
Yeah.
All right, and then on the NFC side, if we have Rams at Seahawks, the Seahawks would be a 1-point favorite.
How dare she bring that up? What do you mean?
I'm going to go through all 4 scenarios. Don't worry.
No, I get it.
But that's just the first one on the odds, okay?
That game, I mean, we know what that game can look like to start. I think it's just those are two of the teams that I think all season long, and we've said it. I mean, every 3 weeks when we'd be like, who are the teams you trust the most? It's the Rams and the Seahawks. That's what it's felt like through this whole time. Now the Rams have had some moments recently. I mean, we saw what the Panthers did to them, and nobody was expecting that. So I feel like Seattle would probably win that game at this point just because I think they have the upward momentum and Rams have kind of had that backwards.
But Tom, do you worry about rust for the Seahawks?
Yeah.
If you worry about
that's
rust
where
for
that
the
comes in.
Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely valid. I think with their defense, they shut down the run even better than we do. They get after the QB. The Seahawks defense pretty damn stout. It's going to be tough to pick anybody over the Seahawks.
And obviously, we get to watch this weekend's games before we would have to make any of these. If the Bears win, if the Bears beat the Rams, it would be Bears at Seahawks with Seahawks -6. Again, of course, assuming the
that
Seahawks
feels
win.
about right. Honestly,
yeah, but again, with who knows if Caleb can pull it out. I mean, look, the one thing about the Rams, I think they showed against Carolina is they do have trouble stopping a timing passing offense. Because they got a lot of yards. It felt like a lot of plays. Bryce Young and company making plays against the Rams. So I would expect the Bears to be able to do some of that. I think they match up with the Rams. I'm going to pick the Bears to win this weekend. Look, Stafford's the man, but I saw a stat. I mean, you guys already know it. When he's outdoors, he's like 1-9 in playoffs or something like that. When it's freezing,
when it's like under 40, I think it is.
So anyway,
and it's going to be 10, by the way.
Seattle's going to be tough. Seattle's going to be. I love their coach. Their coach, you can tell he's just a tough individual that their team plays just like him, and they're very good on the road. Obviously, they're at home, but they're going to be a tough out, no question.
All right, and final 2, 49ers at Rams. If we have that game in Los Angeles, the Rams are favored by 6.
I'll probably take the Rams.
By 6.
I think the Rams win, but I think it'd be a little closer.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little closer, too.
I don't know. It is hard to do that now with Kittle out, too, because I do think so much of their postseason offense counts on him. You'd have to see what Tongas is able to do this weekend and what that looks like. But I could still see it being kind of a little bit closer.
Yeah, I would think so too. And then 49ers at Bears. The Bears would be 1.5-point favorites. That again being another rematch.
Yeah, that one would be crazy.
I'll take the Bears at home in that one.
Yeah,
I think they'd
be able to do it. Yeah, because I mean, everybody watched that game last time, and it was on the road at San Fran, and they almost pulled it off. There, I don't have an issue with them scoring. Both defenses stuck, so it'd probably be like 54-50.
Yeah, you got to figure out if you're going to play Seattle, watch what happened to him last year when he was with Minnesota in the playoffs. You got to watch those last 2 games. Not all his fault, but he was under constant pressure. And if you can find a way to
replicate
get to
that,
him, Sam, you'd say Josh Allen could throw 3.
Yeah,
Sam
Sam
Darnold
can
can lose
too.
a game for you too if you get to him. Like it can happen to a lot of QBs. But I don't know, the 49ers depleted on defense,
Yeah, it's just crazy because if the 49ers got to the NFC Championship game, that's beating the Seahawks team that has
right.
the vaunted defense. And so at that point in time, they're not worrying about their injuries. They're thinking, here we go again. We're going to make it back to the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan as our coach. All right, that was fun. Let's get it to
round quarterback.
Yep,
I was gonna say who are you guys picking in the, or we gotta wait till Friday? I guess
we gotta wait till Friday.
We do.
We do.
Fine.
I don't even
Sorry,
know who's
Mom.
we haven't even got an injury report yet. Can we have a second?
We study these things. It doesn't look like it when you look at how many points I don't have when it comes to our picks, but that's neither here nor there. All right, get it to a little college football on the other side. Lawrence Lane comes up, so keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the one they put in high gear.
Keep going. We got to keep going, keep going, keep going.
It's the Randy Marriott Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marriott Cadillac of Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnikChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Helmets and heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Join the movement at the Foundation 5000 Saturday, January 17th at UF Health in St. Augustine. The Community 5K supports the UF Health St. John's Foundation Care Connect mobile outreach and clinic, delivering vital medical care to those who need it most. Run or walk with 96 Olympian Keith Brantley, or come enjoy the Asian market, open to runners and non-runners alike. Sign up today at runsignup.com. Search Foundation 5000.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, man. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that will wow you. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to the Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name around here for glass and mirror, and it's Duval.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right, with Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
Start the fresh new you with Local Fair Jacks, the online farmers market delivering fresh local food to your door. Start for just $7 with code FRESH1010 at localfairjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
We've been talking a lot of Jaguars football and, of course, NFL football as well. So now let's get into college football with a little Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
I was distracted there because you were air drumming very well.
Yeah, Easy Lover with
Yeah.
Phil Collins and I don't know who the other guy is, but they were great back in the day. Yeah, man.
It's a great song.
That's a great tune.
All right, when it comes to college football, the question I will ask the two of you, who will be Tennessee's starting quarterback in 2026? And I don't expect you to have any names other than the two freshmen that they have on the roster now. I just wanted to go through something that's very curious, and that
What
is
about Raiola?
Dylan Raiola potentially could go there. For people who missed it, Dante Moore from Oregon decided to return to Oregon. I suppose he feels like business is not yet finished there, as Oregon just got destroyed by Indiana, as we saw most recently. And then now Dylan Raiola had transferred from Nebraska to Oregon, so he'd be the backup quarterback. Clearly, I don't think he's going to beat out Dante Moore. Even though Dante Moore was projected to go very early in the first round, if not, I've seen second behind Fernando Mendoza. So now Raiola might be wondering what exactly he's going to do when it comes to what his head coach, I should say, Dan Lanning's going to decide. But I don't know where Raiola is going to go. And
what about Aguilar? Is he done? Is he?
So Joey Aguilar has applied for that 6th year of eligibility, and I believe the NCAA at first said no, but I'm sure he's appealing it. Just like Trinidad Chambliss is going through that process as well. But I'll go through what's so curious is why can't Josh Heupel get a transfer quarterback in the portal as easily as a lot of other schools?
Indiana.
Yeah, because Josh Heupel, who wouldn't want to play for him? But I'll go through the list of quarterbacks that they at least were interested in and then did not get. So Brendan Sorsby, the Vols watched as the Cincinnati transfer went to Texas Tech. Sorsby said last summer he would like to play in Neyland Stadium. If someone says that and then they enter the transfer portal, how do you not?
Well, Texas Tech, there's some money.
But you think Tennessee also has money. But that's
the oil's
certainly one.
flowing over there.
And then, of course, Tennessee was interested in Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson, they offered him around $4 million, according to reports. But Ty Simpson said, no, I'm not going to go from Alabama to Tennessee. I'm going to go from Alabama to the NFL. I would imagine now that Dante Moore has pulled his name out of the NFL draft that, he would end up being the second quarterback taken.
Yeah, it's look, I mean, you're going to make more money than 4 and a hook, right, for the first year, but there's less pressure in college, I mean, they can bench you, but I guess your future would be hurt if you got benched in college, so that's no good. I was reading about Ty Simpson, how he Nick Saban gave him advice, take the money out of it. What would you do? And I'm like, take the money out of it? What are you talking about? It's all about the money now. Like, I mean, I don't know. You Alabama alum, you'd be like, Ty, you're a chip off the old block. Thanks for maintaining your legacy at Alabama, whatever that legacy is. Because that's what he said. He's like, I want to maintain my legacy. I'm like, oh, look, I don't know. I'd take the money and go maybe play again. But if you're going to be a high draft pick, then that changes the whole thing, right?
Yeah. We know teams, sorry, Taylor, I was just going to say, we know teams are desperate for quarterbacks, right? Like there are those teams out there that do not have a quarterback right now.
I thought I heard or saw Miami offered him like 6 something, or no, it was all around the 4.5. Ty Simpson. I thought Miami was chasing him.
That's very possible. Yeah. A lot of the numbers that we hear, I don't know if they're accurate or not, but that's it makes sense. If you go from Cam Ward to Carson Beck, you need a really good quarterback yet again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the NFL tankathon, so obviously it's Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Titans right now are those top picks. I don't think the Vegas would go draft a quarterback. I'm not totally sure. I feel like, not saying they roll with Geno, I just don't know if this stock is what you want to do that with right now. If you have someone that you feel like you can win some football games,
Brady likes Mendoza, then they go quarterback.
That's
or
true.
Dante,
and that's what I'm wondering in my head. I'm like, as a quarter, you're probably looking at that as a quarterback and being like, heck yeah, this might be one of the better years because Tom Brady's around the Raiders. But then you're talking about the next one's going to be the Jets. I don't know if any quarterback wants to be drafted by the Jets right right now.
But you might have said that about the Bears, once upon a time.
Yeah, I mean,
before Ben Johnson
2
got
years
there.
ago.
Yeah. So it can change, but it does feel like the Jets organization is kind of. It seems like they're not on the same page. Like there's not alignment there.
Yeah.
I think someone's
the
gonna.
owner. I think the owner's the problem.
Of who?
The Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Woody Johnson.
I think someone tries to get Malik Willis this offseason. I think someone pays Malik.
Okay.
I would imagine that would be a good thing because you've been able to see
Played well.
NFL film on him. The Vols also tried to get Sam Levitt, but Lane Kiffin went to Knoxville while Sam Levitt was visiting and convinced him to go to LSU. So they were not able to get him. And then Kiffin also scooped up Landon Clark, who's a big-armed FCS quarterback from Elon. And so, they didn't get them either. And then finally, the former Missouri quarterback, Bo Pribula, he went in the transfer portal, and Heupel, I guess, tried to get him, and he decided on Virginia. How do you pick Virginia over Tennessee?
And Heupel, that's the thing to me. Heupel's one of the guys, you talk about being a quarterback guy and being able to make his quarterbacks. Any quarterback that you feel like is going to be mid is going to be at least above that with Heupel. And so that's crazy that a quarterback wouldn't want to go work with him to me.
Quarterback centric type coach, right?
His offense is up tempo and he makes it very easy on his quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And
so wait a minute. Lane Kiffin flew to Tennessee to intercept Sam Levitt at Tennessee.
Lane Kiffin is above nothing.
He does not
or
care.
something.
There's going to be a movie on him in the future for sure. Or some 30 for 30 or something.
Well, and of course, people remember Lane had Austin Simmons. He was the starting quarterback for this season. And then he had a former FCS quarterback as far as a backup in Trinidad Chambliss. And so if I'm Landon Clark, the FCS quarterback who just transferred, I'm thinking, one false
shot
move
as anybody.
By Sam Levitt, and I might be the starting quarterback. And I know Pete Prisco, who's a huge Arizona State fan,
he loves it.
he could not wait to see Sam Levitt go.
Yeah.
He was ready for him to move on. So,
not the best sign.
What's that,
When the
trash?
fan base celebrates when you
Correct.
leave, it's probably
Which,
not.
I mean, no offense to DJ Lagway, but I feel like a lot of Florida fans were
Like, that's
celebrating
fine.
when he went in the transfer portal. Exactly. I saw this stat. I'm sure y'all did as well when it comes to the Bills-Jaguars game. So many eyeballs on that game. It averaged 32.7 million viewers. It peaked with more than 41 million viewers, and it was the most watched AFC wildcard game in the early Sunday window ever.
Wow.
I mean, listen, if you turn that game on and didn't have a dog in the fight, you're like, this is a great game. And Josh Allen and, just the whole thing. It's like, this is a legitimate contest.
And
it
the
was
two
fun
games
to
on
watch.
Saturday were good, so people, I feel like, were already kind of hooked
Excited.
into, and ready for more good football.
And then everything after 4 o'clock sucked.
It did.
It was like, what happened?
I mean, I don't know if y'all were like me, but by the time the Jags lost, I didn't want to watch football again for a while. Like, we had it on, but I didn't
We're not as invested.
No, I just didn't. I was too heartbroken at that point in time.
Like I said, I had to pay a little attention because it was Niners Eagles.
TV,
I had
That's true.
to.
Yeah, you did. You started drinking.
I was already drinking. So
Well, second half I started, so I just kept
that was
it
the
rolling.
pregame.
What is the healthiest way to get through a loss like that?
Eat.
That's the healthiest.
Well, depending what you eat. But eat.
Lettuce
Fill
wraps?
your belly, and then go to bed.
Cry.
Cry.
If you
Go
wanna
ahead, let it
cry,
out. You
let
can
it
cry.
out. Yeah,
Sometimes
crying's cool.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Mental health.
Yeah, or go work out.
I was gonna say exercise.
Yeah, go do something, get your mind off it, maybe. But I don't know. Listen, the smoke is cleared for me. As far as being, upset. I mean, obviously, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
That they're not there, but again, they're going to learn from it, and the coach will learn. Everybody, it's going to be great, man. I think they've really set a nice bar. I think they're going to expect this kind of performance, at least effort-wise, attitude-wise, and they should. I think they're going to continue to bring in guys that fit their mold of that love football and want to compete and want to be the best. I think that's going to continue. So, again, I don't know. You got to move on eventually. You can't change what's that from Lion King? You can't change the past. Where's my cane? I can smack you over the head. You can't change the past. That's for darn sure. But I get it. Listen, people are still upset. But I don't know. We went through. I guess as a player going through it and losing. The sting. It sucks. Even when I was on IR and we got beat by Tennessee, or we got beat by the Denver Broncos in '97. That still is like, don't get me wrong, I like the playoff money. That's always fun. I'll never forget when I didn't understand the playoff money thing, like when we went in '96, and we're literally in the locker room, and Lagerman's like two from me, and Boyer's there, and they're, what do you do with all that money, T-Mac? I'm like, what money are you talking about? They're like, oh, man,
I'm playing for free.
We just made like $13,000. I'm like, we just made $13,000. What? Brant's like, I'm getting a Harley. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. I don't think I got anything other than probably closing a trip or something, but I didn't know. And then after that, I was like, okay, then what do we get next? Oh, you get another. We made like in '96, I think I made an extra 80, 70, 65 grand just from
winning the rounds,
So,
is it more than your regular game check?
It depends on the year. That year, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But Logs would always say, it's free money. It's free money, guys. Let's keep playing for that free money. So,
free money.
that'll help the Sting. They'll get a little check for being in the wild card. But, again, they got to learn from it. From the coach to the QB to even the defense coordinator, if he sticks, he's got to figure some things out too. And James Gladstone and Tony Baselli, they've got their hands full in who to keep, who to let go, who to maybe offer in a trade. You know what? You just think about it. So let me throw this at you if I can. You got Armstead, who I read earlier, like if you just let him go, you don't save that much money. If you restructure, you save money. So let's just take that out of it. Let's go Josh Hines, or not Josh Hines. Let's go Eric Armstead, Devin Lloyd, Trayvon Walker, right? Could any of those guys be a trade type? Like, let's just take Trayvon Walker. I love Trayvon Walker. I want him to be a Jaguar. But if you're James Gladstone, you're sitting there going, okay, well, and by the way, I say this with a caveat. I don't know what the draft class looks like for pass rushers or DNs or anything.
It's one of the deepest defensive ends.
Okay,
drafts,
thank you, Taylor. So if you're sitting there and we're like, all right, we love him. He's a great guy, great player, but do we package him up with a couple picks and get into that first round? Like, how can we move up? You just got to wonder if anybody's on that type of scenario. I mean,
I think they listen. That's one thing we've learned about this regime is they'll take the phone calls and listen to what people are saying.
Yeah.
I think
didn't draft him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to cut
it's
you
not
off.
your guy, and we've seen that too with this regime of it not being your guy and how they feel. So I do think that, and I said that yesterday, to don't be surprised if one of your favorite players isn't here next year.
Yeah. I'll say Trayvon Walker is here, but based off of the press conference earlier today and what
Devin
James
Lloyd's not.
Gladstone said about Trayvon Walker and the evaluation of him, even with all the injuries that he had this season.
Yeah, I think that's fair to ask. The thing that I really appreciate in watching Trayvon move is how much he loves this place, how much he loves his teammates. That just seeps out of his soul. And those are the types of people that you want to align yourself with. It's the type of players and that we want to make sure that are still in our building moving forward. And I know, obviously, dealing with injury, that's never easy for a player to tough through those types of things, especially when it's coming with a wrist and a knee simultaneously. It's not something that's easy, or many would be willing to put themselves at potentially risk for looking worse. And you wouldn't hold that against him. It's not something that's ever considered as long-term concern or anything of that nature. In fact, it's something that you would prop him up for, right? The willingness to step into that despite being sort of adverse situation, or your body's not feeling its best. That's stuff that he should take real pride in, and he's certainly somebody that we want to make sure we align ourselves with moving forward.
Good.
So just based off of what he said earlier today, I feel like they are going at some point to re-sign Trayvon Walker and give him a contract extension.
Yeah. Okay, good. I mean, he's an animal when especially inside. I mean, he plays the game the right way. I just, if you...
But yeah, Devin Lloyd, Travis Etienne, I can't say as of right now if they're going to be on the team next year.
But listen, the reality is we need more pass rush. I mean, that wasn't good enough.
Absolutely.
And I know the injuries are injuries, and they happen. But you could even look. Josh Hines Allen had a very good year. There's no doubt. But we need a little bit more out of the sacks out of him. Eric started off strong. He had the injury too. Maybe that played a factor, but he didn't finish strong.
But they like Strigo and Green, BJ Green.
Yeah,
BJ
yeah,
Strigo,
they've got
so
some talent there.
they might be thinking, like, we don't necessarily need to add that edge rush position early in the draft. But, yeah, I think a pass rushing defensive tackle, like...
A 3 technique.
Yeah, if you can find that, then
Yeah.
certainly that helps Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker also get to the quarterback.
Would you keep Eric?
I think it just
Eric Armstead.
I think it
Forget
depends
the money.
on
Forget the money. Would
yeah,
you
I think
keep
it depends on what else you have, because right now, if you're not bringing in someone that's better than him, isn't he your best 3 technique?
Yeah, I think
he is on this team.
On
yeah,
this
he's
team,
the
as
best
it's as it's structured right now, so I can't get rid of him until
you have a replacement.
I have a
is what
better
I feel
replacement.
like. Yeah, which I think you could find. I don't feel like he's. And there's been moments this year where he's played really well, but he started off super slow, had a few games where it was good, and then it fell off again. That can't be something that you keep continuously having, especially when you don't have anybody beside him who is helping at this point in time.
And again, he's a previous regime signee, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was a Trent Baalke guy, and at this point in time, he's 32 years old.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh that with all of it.
He
as
was
well.
strong against the run. I'll give him that. We just need more in the pass rush. You can't. You got to push that pocket.
Right.
And I know he pushed, a little bit, but it's still not enough.
Yeah,
You
and
gotta,
I don't think Devon Hamilton is going to get to the quarterback. So the,
Right.
the other guy definitely
has to.
Yeah. All right, more to do on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We love winning, and 1010XL wants you to win our contests. We also like to share the winning. That's why we ask you to wait 30 days to win again, so others get a chance to have the winning feeling. Find complete contest details at 1010XL.com.
Yo, it's your main man ET here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple. It's discreet and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
From the Queen Law Group Studios.
Helmets and Heels.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Finding the right plumber to reline your cast iron pipes doesn't have to be a stressful experience. When you hire Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, you can rest assured you're getting the best in the industry. At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we're so confident in our work that we encourage you to get multiple estimates. Look at each company's reviews and check the scope of their pipelining work to make sure it's what you're expecting. But at the end of the day, make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
It's the Happy Renewal Year sale at Renewal by Anderson. Buy one, get one, 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Ghost. Skeletor World Tour 2026. Ghost. Theatrical. Arena Rock. January 22nd, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Ghost. Don't miss Ghost.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
As we kind of put a little bow on today, a lot of the things we were talking about is more so now shifting to what's next.
The future.
Yeah, the future. But the future feels bright in a lot of ways when we're talking about the where this team is, the foundation that has been laid now, the coaching staff, Trevor's progression, all of those things. And I think that there's going to be players that you probably at this point want on the team that aren't going to be here next year. There's players that are out there that are hitting free agency. There's free agency lists everywhere that you are probably clamoring for some of these players. But I think we just graded also in this show the free agency signings from this last year. And there were some that completely shocked me, like a Hainsey that I didn't think were going to be massive role players or playmakers on this team, and they were. And then you have guys that you kind of expected it to be that, and they didn't work out. So free agency, just as much as the draft sometimes, is very unexpected. That's why these coaches put in a lot of work into doing that. But this is that time of year where you start saying, what are your main focuses and where are these holes that need to be filled? What players have trade value? What players are worth giving money to? And so we can't make all those decisions, but we can sit here and say that at least you have a foundation where it doesn't feel like you have 50 holes to fill this year like it did feel like that last year.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the challenge this year is the guys that are due contracts and guys that are under contract. You're going to restructure, you're going to keep them, you're going to invest in them, give them an extension, whatnot. I think that's a real challenge because they've got some guys they got to figure out.
Well, guys like Devin Lloyd, who played out of his mind this year with 5 interceptions, and the Jaguars last offseason had the option to give him that 5th-year option and pick that up. They did pick it up for Trayvon Walker. They did not for Devin Lloyd. Right. So they'd be in a little different situation if they had decided to do that. But we would have all roundly criticized them if they had picked up the 5th-year option on Lloyd when they did Trayvon, right?
Yeah.
Because we didn't ever see Devin playing in the right position with the right coaching, right? And all that stuff. And look, he played alongside Foye Lukin every year he's played here. Yeah. And yet it all of a sudden clicked this year. And so, yeah, that's certainly a decision. But I guarantee that there's a lot of NFL teams that would love to have an inside linebacker join their team and get 4 to 5 interceptions next season.
They might even try him at a 3-4 outside linebacker.
They certainly
that's
could.
The kind of athlete that he is. I always thought he was good against the run and he could rush the passer, but what he's done in the passing game was really pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that pick 6 against the Chiefs.
Yeah, you got to credit
ridiculous.
the coaches for that and Devin for working on his game.
Well, and that was the biggest conversation of why when he wasn't giving the 5th-year option, everyone kind of said he can get to the quarterback, he can, blitz when you need to, do some of those things. He couldn't drop back in coverage was the whole conversation of you need those linebackers now that are able to do that because of the league we live in. And because the Jags had struggled against those tight ends in the middle of the field, you needed some linebackers to be able to do some of those things. And I think he proved this year that it's at least gotten better. So if that continues, you hope. And then, part of that conversation too is what if Coach Campanile gets hired somewhere, what defensive coordinator comes in and what type of defense do they run? And then things totally change at that point.
And which guys does Campanile go after to try to bring with him?
I don't know if if
one of
Liam
those
would
guys.
try and promote someone from within as far as the defensive coaches, or if he'd look elsewhere. But don't worry, people yet.
Yeah, don't worry
Anthony
about that
Campanile has one job interview as far as head coaching with the Dolphins.
So
but
what
not
is
multiple.
your consensus on Lloyd? Are you going to give him a contract? Are you going to let him test free agency? Or are you?
I think
what
he's
are
going to
you
be
gonna
too expensive, unfortunately.
Yeah, me too.
I think he earned a deal that this franchise probably can't afford.
Can't afford.
Yeah.
We're over the cap like quite a
$7
bit right
million.
now,
Yeah, that I think unfortunately with where the Jaguars are this year in cap space, which everybody can restructure and do things, so you'll end up over that. It's not like you're going into there with negative $7 million. But I do think you have to be a little more careful this year and maybe look more towards the draft, make a few signings in free agency, restructure some things to get some money, but mainly look at the draft. And then next year, you have a lot of decisions, by the way, to make in 2027 that are big ones when it comes to the Jaguars players that you are going to want to definitely re-sign and figure things
Parker
out.
Washington, Brenton Strange,
Trayvon Walker, there's a lot next year. And so you are going to have to make sure that you have that contract space. So you might have to be a little smart this year, this offseason.
Let's throw in. Are you in the same boat as far as?
I think he's going to be too expensive. But you also have to remember they have Ventrell Miller. They drafted Jack Kaiser, so they obviously like him. They have Branson Combs, who they had gotten. I think he was undrafted.
None of them are Devin, though.
And I'm not saying they are,
They're not.
but Ventrell Miller at least competed with Devin Lloyd in training camp. Devin clearly won the job, but they were going back and forth there for a while.
It looked like Ventrell would win it for a little bit, but then obviously Devin pulled out.
You got a second team All Pro, and you're not going to re-sign him.
And I would love for Devin Lloyd to be back.
Me too.
But I also wonder.
No, I feel you on the contract. I'm just saying,
are you giving the contract to Travis Etienne? Because at that point in time, I don't think you can keep both of them. You may not be able to keep either of them, but I don't think you can keep both. And so Liam Coen is an offensive head coach, right? Like if he's going to push for one of the two guys, I'm not saying he doesn't understand the value of Devin Lloyd, but if I'm Liam, I'm going to push for Travis Etienne, who was such a perfect back in his offense. And while they didn't run the ball enough against the Bills, as we've dictated or detailed all week, at the same time, that's a guy that's going to get you touchdowns.
But couldn't you also, the devil's advocate, sit there and be like, okay, we love Travis. He was great for us, but we drafted these young guys and we're ready for them to take over.
Yeah.
You certainly could. I think Tootin more. I don't know if LaQuint Allen
I know Tootin more. I'm with you on that.
I don't know that we've saw enough to say, okay,
he can be your third down back.
Yes, Tootin, you're the RB1, and LaQuint, you're not just RB2, but you're also the third down back. You're also going to play on special teams. That's putting a ton more on his plate. And then you need another running back. Unless you love Jaquin and Jackson. You had DJ Dallas, but he was on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but you have the Jackson kid.
I think it's a little easier to find a running back, and I love Etienne, but I think that there would be a pushback of you can find a running back a little bit easier. I mean, look, they got Bucky Brooks in Tampa, and he turned him into a superstar in one season. So they'll be
Irving,
Bucky Irving, sorry, Bucky Brooks.
I
was
like Bucky Brooks just joined Frank yesterday.
Not Bucky Brooks.
Yeah,
Bucky Irving, and he turned him into a superstar in 1 year. And then you come here and you revitalize Travis Etienne. You turn a later round running back and Tootin into some, and so you have LaQuint Allen, who's what was he, 6th or 7th running back, and then so I think you could push back and say you've been able to make running backs successful no matter where they're drafted or where you get them, so that feels easier than trying to find a star linebacker like Devin Lloyd has been this year.
And then I would say, but Trevor Lawrence has been with Travis Etienne every year since high
Trevor
school.
Lawrence is a big boy. He'll
Breaking
be okay.
up is a hard
we already took away Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram.
And he was fine.
He
was fine.
All right, one segment to go. I'll bring you today's Terminix Pest of the Day. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Lauren, Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out as fast as possible, and you need to keep them out. When pest issues arise at my house, I know Terminix will be there quickly, and I trust all of their technicians will come out and eliminate those pests. They will do the same for you at your house or your business because they care about what matters most to you and your family. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule your free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Hi, Frank Frangie for Ricketts Electric. Any good lineup needs power. When we needed power at the Bregan Baseball Complex and all the fields we have at Fort Family Park, we trusted Ricketts Electric. You're going to love these guys. The Ricketts family has been providing commercial and residential electric service for years. Call my friend Zach today at 904-320-5960. You can also find them on Facebook and at RickettsElectric.com. Ricketts Electric, the city's best power connection. Call them today at 904-320-5960.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Hey gang, Prosser here. When it comes time to sell your home, don't worry about any, quote, problems you think might be related, because I've got the perfect team that will keep you right on track. In fact, they've got a guarantee that you can't beat. And that is Chad and Sandy, the agents I would call to sell my home. You see why? Your home sold guaranteed or they will buy it. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, and stress-free. But the promise is this. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jacksonville homes are selling, but many take months and a low price to sell. Getting top price means aggressive marketing. Chad and Sandy Newman are the Jacksonville experts who have proven systems to drive demand to sell your home. Darcy in San Jose said, I felt too isolated in my retirement. I wanted to buy in a different area, better suited for me. I spoke to several agents who didn't seem to care. I needed to find someone I could rely on. In come Chad and Sandy, and in 3 days, the home was sold. ChadandSandy.com or 904-414-6200.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
This guy performed at the Super Bowl that was held here in Jacksonville. Eddie Money. Did you see him then when he was here?
I didn't see him live, no. But
okay.
Yeah,
he
got some
performed
good tunes,
downtown.
yeah.
It was Patriots Eagles, is that right? When we had the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
in
correct.
2004? That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
I'm thinking of the song "Shakin" that he's got.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
I love Eddie Money. I saw him also in Jack's Beach.
Oh, really?
At Freebirds before it turned into Surfer. But I was.
He's good. He's been around a long time.
Yeah. I was jokingly say he has one dance move and he just like kind of spins around. That's all he's got. All right, time now for today's Pest of the Day is always brought to you by my friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. They do a fantastic job at all of those places as well as at our house. So we know now that Brooks Koepka is going to be reinstated with the PGA Tour. He's going to have to obviously make some concessions. He's not just going to get to go from LIV to the PGA Tour without any sort of punishment. A lot of that's financial punishment. But what is the pest for me is Bryson DeChambeau decided to stay with LIV. Look, I at first didn't want the LIV guys to even be allowed back on the PGA Tour because I was so frustrated that they went to LIV in the first place and took all that Saudi Arabian money. But I understand why John Rahm and Cam Smith are going to stay with Liv. Whatever. John Rahm is from Spain. Cam Smith is from Australia. I don't think the whole 9/11 when it comes to the United States really matters that much to them, right? But to me, Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, as Americans, they should hate that Saudi Arabian money in the first place. They should never have taken it. But now I feel like they should both come back to the PGA Tour. But Bryson's going to stay with Liv, and so he's my pest.
Was this always from the beginning? I thought they weren't going to be able to come back originally.
Originally, yeah, the PGA Tour kind of put their foot down and said, we're not. But
and then they said you can, but there's going to be a price to pay.
Yeah, now there's a new commissioner, and he's decided, I think his name's Brian Rowland, and he's decided that that's what's best for the PGA Tour. That's what's best for golf fans in general, is to have the best golfers on the world on the PGA Tour. And so, like I said, Brooks Koepka will have to deal with several different things, including a hit anywhere between $50 to $85 million financially.
He should have to start with 4 shots back. However, I'm trying to think of how to word that. But automatically, you lose 3 strokes with every PGA tournament you started.
And I'm not a big golf guy per se. I mean, I love the players and all that, and I'll watch Sunday on Masters and things like that. But did their tournaments ever take?
No.
Did they even have any dent in anything?
No, absolutely not.
So it was just all the money. The money's sustainable, but I wonder if that's sustainable. For golf fans, are you really going to watch a Live tournament? I don't think I even paid attention to any single one of them. Now, you pay attention to all the PGA Tour events, right? Especially the majors, especially the players and things like that. But I wonder if that's going to be sustainable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The money will be, so people go for the money, but I don't know if you don't really care about the tournament. Eventually
I could care less about them, but we shall see. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, your biggest takeaways from today's presser with Liam Coen and James Gladstone.
Yeah, it was good. First off, feel for Liam. I mean, he still just looks like he's crushed.
Yeah, Lauren said that too.
I was like, my goodness.
What do you think was written on the pieces of paper that were in front of him?
Yeah, I don't know, but he
pick your head up, kid.
Yeah, you feel for Liam. I think he thought he'd be preparing a game plan for the Patriots, and I still think he's kind of shocked that he isn't. But yeah, it was, good in terms of getting a chance to catch up with them. And I thought it was interesting what they said about Travis Hunter, Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, some good stuff in there. So, I mean, and just the fact that they're just so much further along than they would have obviously been this time last year. So, yeah, it gives you confidence that, this isn't, now the almost the challenge is not doing too much, and realizing that you've built a pretty good foundation here. And now it's really honing in on those specific moves that will really take you to the next level. So, but it was great. It was great. Appreciate the Jaguars making them available. And it was a lot of fun. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll also do sports and courts and get Brett Hastings' thoughts on the Washington quarterback fiasco. Obviously, he ended up going back to the Huskies. And Kevin Kaplan will join us for our injury report. So, lots of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, excellent. And it's your belief Devin Lloyd and Travis Etienne are not on this team next year.
That's right.
Yeah. Too expensive.
All pro.
Yeah.
I got to let him go. I mean, that's hard to do.
It is hard to do. But he's the one where there's a little bit, I think, of doubt.
Would you trade Trayvon and keep him?
No.
Never?
No. I mean, I think Devin Lloyd had a great year. But I think for what you're looking for, the Russian cover, I would prioritize something else. And it's nothing against Devin. It's
of course. Yeah,
but to me, it should be edge and corner and and maybe D tackle. Although I don't think that'll present itself this offseason, except maybe if they get lucky in the draft. But anyway, my stomach's growling, so I better go. But, all right, thank you guys.
That's translated to linebackers don't matter, Tom. That's what Hayes just said. Linebackers don't matter whatsoever.
We don't. I'm sorry. Unless we rush the passer, then we do. It's most of us don't.
Rush and cover, not the Russian cover, by the way.
Yes.
We're rushing covers.
Cover. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow. No Jaguars programming because no more Jaguars games. Don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.